Captain Marcus Chen had seen wonders across 17 star systems, but nothing prepared him for the sight before him in the crystalline palace of Zephyria Prime. The princess moved with fluid grace through the ceremony, her ethereal form seeming to bend light itself around her translucent skin. Her forearms moved in perfect synchronization, each gesture creating ripples of bioluminescent patterns that cascaded down her flowing robes. "She's the most magnificent princess I've seen," Marcus whispered to his diplomatic aide, Lieutenant Sarah Torres, as they watched from their designated observation platform among the other alien dignitaries. Then she turned toward him. The moment their eyes met, Marcus felt the familiar chill that every human spacefarer learned to recognize, the telltale sign that something had gone catastrophically wrong. The princess's luminous silver eyes widened, not with the polite curiosity he'd expected, but with something far more dangerous: recognition. The grand ceremony hall fell silent. 200 alien nobles from across the galactic consortium turned their various appendages, sensory organs, and attention toward the human delegation. The princess's bioluminescent patterns shifted from the ceremonial gold to a deep, pulsing crimson. "Terran," she spoke, her voice carrying harmonics that made the crystal walls resonate. "You dare show your face in my presence?" Marcus's hand instinctively moved toward his sidearm, a gesture that didn't go unnoticed by the assembled crowd. "Your Highness, I believe there's been some misunderstanding. This is my first visit to Zephyria Prime." The princess descended from her ceremonial dais, each step causing the floor to emit soft chimes. Her forearms moved in patterns that Marcus recognized as distinctly threatening gestures in Zephyrian culture. "Misunderstanding? Your species murdered my brother." A collective gasp rippled through the assembly. Marcus felt Sarah tense beside him, her own training kicking in. The human delegation was outnumbered 1,000 to 1, light years from the nearest Terran naval vessel. "Your Highness," Marcus said carefully, "humanity has had no conflicts with the Zephyrian Empire. Our records show your records lie." The princess's voice cracked like thunder, her bioluminescence now a blazing scarlet that painted the entire hall in crimson light. "3 cycles ago, human pirates attacked my brother's science vessel in the Kepler Nebula. They showed no mercy." Marcus's mind raced. 3 years ago, he'd been commanding a patrol frigate in that exact region. There had been reports of pirate activity, ships flying false flags, attacking civilian vessels. But humans? The timeline was wrong, the accusations impossible. Then it hit him. "The Aurora incident," he said quietly. The princess froze mid-step. "You know of it?" "I know of it because I was there." Marcus stepped forward, ignoring the weapons that several alien guards had begun to draw. "But not as you think." He reached slowly into his uniform jacket, producing a small holographic projector. "May I?" The princess nodded curtly, her patterns shifting to a cautious orange. The hologram flickered to life, showing a 3-dimensional tactical display of the Kepler Nebula. Marcus manipulated the controls, highlighting ship movements and energy signatures. 3 Terran years ago, we received a distress signal from this location," Marcus began, his voice carrying clearly through the silent hall. "A science vessel under attack by pirates flying human-manufactured ships with forged registration codes." The display showed the battle, Marcus's frigate, the UES Defiant, engaging multiple smaller vessels that were attacking a larger, clearly civilian ship. "We arrived too late to save most of the crew," Marcus continued, his voice heavy with old regret. "But we destroyed every one of those pirate vessels. What we found afterward..." He paused, manipulating the display to show debris analysis. "The pirates weren't human. They were void reapers using stolen human technology." The princess's bioluminescence flickered between colors: confusion, anger, hope, disbelief. "Your brother," Marcus said softly, "was Prince Zethkar of the Royal Science Division, wasn't he?" She nodded, unable to speak. "We found him in an escape pod. He was dying, but conscious. He asked me to deliver something to his sister." Marcus, reached into another pocket, producing a small crystal pendant that immediately began to glow in response to the princess's proximity. He said to tell you that the stars would always sing your name. The princess's legs buckled and she fell to her knees, her 4 arms cradling the pendant as tears of liquid light streamed down her face. The entire assembly watched in stunned silence as she wept. He spoke of you in his final moments, Marcus continued, kneeling beside her. He said you were the brightest light in the Zephyrian sky, that you would one day unite the outer systems in peace. He made me promise that if I ever met you, I would tell you that his love for you transcended death itself. When the princess looked up, her bioluminescent patterns had shifted to deep blue, the color of profound gratitude in Zephyrian culture. You honored my brother's memory, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Any human would have done the same, Marcus replied. We don't abandon those in need regardless of species. The princess rose to her feet, her patterns now shifting to brilliant gold shot through with silver, the highest honor patterns in Zephyrian culture. She turned to address the assembly. Let it be known throughout the consortium that humanity has proven themselves worthy of our deepest respect. They are protectors of the innocent, guardians of justice. She looked directly at Marcus. Captain Chen, I formally request that the Terran Federation establish a permanent embassy here on Zephyria Prime. As the hall erupted in approving harmonics from dozens of species, Marcus couldn't help but smile. Sometimes the most magnificent encounters came from the most unexpected misunderstandings. In space, where death lurked behind every asteroid and trust was rarer than antimatter, humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their weapons. It was their refusal to let honor die with the fallen.